Here's the culmination. Colin's golf knowledge about the golf swing. All right, you guys got to work out your own grip. I do the tiger interlocking. You got to work out your stance. You got to get all these things right. Your ball placement, all that stuff has to be dialed in, but you can work on that on your own. I just want to talk about three things that are the most important things to make sure your swing is effortless and your swing is on plane. So, and it all starts at the transition. Transition being you do your takeaway, okay? And now you're ready to do your downswing, okay? So we're gonna start there. So we're gonna start right before there with our posture, and this is key detail number one. Here's my ball. I need your spine angle to be slightly tilted away from the ball. See that? And it needs to stay there, okay? So part of the problems that I suffered with for years with hitting cuts and slices is I would hit and then my spine would go towards the target on my downswing, and I'd do some kind of shift like this. That throws your plane all off, and you're gonna come over the top, and there's no way you can come on an in to out swing if your head is tilted that way. So number one, at your setup, you got to get that tilt away from the ball, right behind it. Your eyes are right behind it, okay? So now we bring it up, right? And we're at the top. And think of this place right here. You got to think of that angle, right? Okay? Or wherever it is. I mean, if you're a little steeper, if you're a little shallower, too shallow, wherever you are. Let's say you're about right there in the middle. Okay? At this point, two things have to happen at once. Okay? The very first thing is that the start of the downswing starts with your left hip. Okay? Turn it. Your left hip starts turning. If you start the downswing with your hands, then you've got to do a lot of manipulation to get it just right. And you're going to have a hard time with consistency. Okay? And I struggled with that forever. I was always trying to get my hands on plane, and then, you know, that pull happens when your hands get away from your body, right? And the cut slice happens when your head tilts, at least for me, when my head would tilt towards the target. So those were my two faults that I struggled with forever, okay? So as this signals here, this needs to come straight down. So I got my palm, my right palm is going towards the sky, coming straight down. So the club does this at the initial point of the downswing. It comes straight down as you're turning. Down, and then you just let it do the work. You're not gonna need to manipulate the club much. You don't need a lot of hand work, okay? So it's at the top, and then make this move right here, where you're turning your hips, and this palm is facing up, and then coming through. And as you do this, you could do this with every club in the bag, all the way to driver. This is how you're gonna hit that long, straight ball with a little bit of a draw, okay? Down and turn. Down, turn. So, but the key is starting here. You can't start with this move. They kind of happen at the same time. You know, you're at the top, and this turn happens, and that signals that this. And you see how I'm trying to keep that tilt back? And then one little bonus detail is, I talked about the right hand, is the left hand. If you can control a draw or a cut by how the position of that left hand. If you want to extend it down a little bit like this, Dustin Johnson style, you will hit a draw. If you hold it up a little bit like this, face will be open and you will hit a cut. Now that's something to tinker with, and once you get on the range, you'll see how big a difference just a little bit of adjustment with that left hand. But you could do your setup and everything just the same and change your shot shape just by your left hand that holds holds the club here. Okay, so whether it's cupped, it's cut, or whether it's extended like that over, that's the draw. Okay, to review, quick 3 things. Face tilted in the back, right? Spine angle just the back, trying to keep it. And as you bring this back, this is good because you're tugging that down, right? Start the swing, left hip, and coming straight down, palms up. Okay?